I can see the nips. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It is me, Jed, with a new video today. I'm gonna be talking about possibly one of the greatest sneaker designs of all time. I know that's a big call, but hear me out. Anyway, if it's your first time here, make sure you hit that big red subscribe button. Let's get into these sneakers. So today we are talking about the Nike Air Max 90 Infrared. Check these bad boys out. Now, like I said, it's my opinion, but I think that these are possibly one of the best sneaker designs of all time. Shout out to Tinker Hatfield, this is legendary. Now, a bit of a weird one. This year, they've actually called them the Air Max 3 Radiant Red. Now, apparently the Radiant Red was the actual name of the colorway that they used back in 1990 when it was originally made. But no one knows it as the Radiant Red, it's known as the Infrared. So I do have to say this year they've done a really good job on retroing this sneaker. They have retroed it several times in the past like 30 years. This is the 30-year anniversary, 2020. And you know, they've had a couple different iterations where they kind of made it look too vintage, or the red was slightly off, the mesh was a different material, they'd use a leather instead. I've probably bought about 5 different versions over the past like 20 years. My favorite one was probably from 05, the History of Air Pair, which I still have. They're beat as hell, but I still do own them. And since then, I feel like it's kind of been disappointing with like the quality that they've brought out in this sneaker. But this year, they've nailed it. Like they even went as far as to kind of give it that old 1990s retro sneaker box as well. As you guys have noticed earlier in the year, a lot of the Air Max 90s coming out are using the original box style that Nike did in the early 90s. So the Infrared, literally one of the most iconic colors in all of sneaker culture, and it all started from this shoe. You know, people look at the Jordan 6 Infrared or any other shoe that's had this particular kind of red hit on it. It started with this sneaker right here. So it is super iconic. And as much as I love, like, you know, the Laser Blues and the Volt Air Max 90s, which will show you photos of them, there's just something different about the way that this color hits with this blocking. Like, it's just such a perfect design in my opinion. So they were rumored to come out earlier this year. It took longer than we thought. Like I thought they were gonna come out for Air Max Day, but they didn't come out until October. But yeah, like they came out for about 200 Australian dollars. The good thing is, I think it's a good thing. They're not as hyped up as a lot of other sneakers this year. So the secondary market, even though they sold out everywhere, on release, they're really quite affordable on the secondary market. You can still get them for about $300 odd. And it's not really that much more than what they came out for. So I think that's a good thing. So let's talk about the details. Obviously you've got the infrared hits on the back, just around the air unit, on the tongue there with the Nike Air, also in these little like wings on the side of the shoe, and the front part of the outsole on the bottom as well. Babe! Quite on set. Also the Air Max 90 iconically uses mesh for most of the upper, and then you've got the suede and leather combination as well with the gray and black. But yeah, it's just such a perfect combination. I used to rock these with black laces back in the day too. I think they still look good with both, but yeah, this white lace is definitely clean. Another cool random detail, which isn't really super important, but I thought it was interesting, is that they even did like the sizing and the other information inside the shoe in kind of that old 90s style. Like you'll notice that that has like the sizing on the bottom there, underneath the tongue right there. And that is, like I haven't seen that since, God, I don't even remember. Like shoes in the 90s had that. Nothing that's come out in the past 15 years has had anything, or 20 years that has had anything that looked like that. So all in all guys, a pretty simple one for me. Like I said, this is probably in my opinion one of the greatest sneaker designs of all time. The Air Max 90 Infrared. This year it's called the Air Max 3 Radiant Red. It's the same thing. It is definitely a pickup if you can get your hands on it, but if you missed out the release, get them on the secondary market because they are not going for that much, and a classic sneaker will never go out of fashion. You know what I mean? This is always gonna be a good pickup no matter what, so check them out. All right guys, that is it for today's video. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you like this shoe? Is it a pickup? Is it trash? Is it treasure? You guys let me know. I think it's one of the greatest, but if you disagree, make sure you hit me up in the comments down below. Hit that thumbs button if you're into it. Share it with all your friends, all that good stuff. I appreciate all of you, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.